Well, howdy hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. Man, as you can see, we got a special guest today. Oh, that's right. See, what we got here is it's a remake of the 1961 SG. And this here is a real genuine Gibson guitar. Yes, sir, it is. See, it says it right there. It ain't no Gibson, it ain't no knockoff or nothing. It's the real deal. Holyfield. And man, I'm telling you, this guitar is looking nice. But it's getting a couple new parts. And the owner, Rob, he wants it to be gone over. He needs to get the mojo touch. You know, he understands that even though you buy a guitar from Gibson, and you pay an arm and a leg and, well, half of the other leg, that it still needs a setup. Still needs going over, and he wants to put some new parts in it. Maybe we got some new stuff to do to it, but sure, it sure is looking beautiful. You know, and it's got the jack on the front. You know, it's got a couple of, I guess those are pro buckers, I guess, in there. But it's looking really nice, you know. And let's take a look at the back of it right quick here. Oh yeah, it's got a real nice pattern to the back there. Real nice, real beautiful. And one thing that really impressed me about this guitar is that it's really light. There ain't much to it. It's a nice one. And it's got the Clusen tuners in it. He says one of these is crooked. But I'll be danged if I can. I took a look at it, didn't really tell. But maybe after I get it taken apart, we can tell which one it is. But, man, she sure is looking good. Let's turn it back around. We can see her beautiful front. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look, it's got that nice trapezoid. I think that's like an ebony fretboard. I'm not sure. But it is looking nice. Real, real nice. Well, we're going to take this one over to the bench. We got a whole bunch of parts to show you for it. We're going to make it look real nice, get it real special. And, we're going to give some mojo. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Let's take it over the bench. I mean, let's take it over to the bench. Jeez. Welcome to Mojo Shop Guitar, baby. Alright, well, here we are over at the bench. Man, this one here, oh boy, it's going to be a nice one to do. Look how beautiful that is. Looks like it's still got the plastic on the pick guard. I'm probably just going to leave that there. But look at that. It's a real nice wood on it. You know, they're not very thick at all. Really, that's what makes them light. But we're going to replace the pickups. Well, we got a whole box full of, well, not a whole box full of goodies, but we got a few goodies in here that we're going to do to this one right here. And I got a box over here. And first of all, let's see. Well, might as well start off with the big one. We're going to replace these pickups right here. And well, he's got a pair of these Tony Iommi signature humbucker. Man, I'm really looking forward to hearing what these sound like in this nice guitar. You know, what's in there is no real slouch, you know, so I think they're burst buckers, but yeah, these are real nice. And he's got a pair of these, you know, and they appear to be the exact same pickup, not like a bridge and a, you know, and a neck. So, but these are what's going in it, and man, I bet it's probably gonna howl. Anyways, what else we got to go in it? We are going to put some new strings on it, of course. And got a few things right here. A pair of set of D'Addarios on there. Looks like there's those some 10 through 46. Those are some nice strings right there. We're gonna put those on there. We got a little bit of fretboard oil right there. We're gonna put that on there. No sense in putting something different on there than what it's had already. And what else we got here? Now, you know, he says that one of these tuning pegs up here in the top here, one of these ones up here is bent or something. And I haven't really seen much when he's talking about being bent, but we're going to investigate. And if we do find another one, if we find one bent, then we're going to, you know, put this one on there. I hope this ain't the bent one. But yeah, we're going to put this one on there if we find a bent one. We are going to put another tailpiece on there if it fits. He says he doesn't like the lightweight aluminum tailpiece that's on there, so we got a heavier one here. We're going to put that on there if it fits, which I think it will. And we're going to go through this thing, give it a good going over. We're going to see if the nut is bone. If it is a bone nut, we're going to leave it alone. I got a feeling it is. And so, you know, we're going to go back over here. We're going to put some pickups in this sucker. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the strings off of it. And we might as well take the strings off and get the pickups out and get them taken care of. You know, maybe get some disassembly to this thing. You know, I don't know how far I'm going to take it apart. But I think that probably just enough to get it where I need to get it. So let's get some strings off of it. What do you say? Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to lift it up a little bit here. We're just going to basically take some of the tension off the strings. And I'm kind of trying to see if I can see which one of these feels funky or something. A lot of times it's one on the top or something like that. Man, these feel like that. I don't feel like anything. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut these strings. And we're being extra careful not to, you know, scratch anything up. Okay, we got them off there. We'll take these off the top. Careful not to poke ourselves with them. Oh, and somebody who knows how to put strings on, put them on. They're not on there in some, you know, I've seen some strange ways of putting some strings on. Let me put it that way. And sometimes they're really hard to get off there. So it's nice to have them on there correctly. So they come off easily. And, you know, they don't give you no trouble. And you need a couple of wraps. See, that didn't even have a couple of wraps around the peg. It has to have at least 2 or 3 wraps around that peg. Or it's not going to hold, it's going to slip, it's not going to stay in tune, it's just not going to be right. It's going to sound dead. So we're going to get things right. And that's the thing with guitars. It's just those little things that you do, the little tiny things you do, that all add up to be something. Okay, let's take the tailpiece off there. We'll dump those out of there. Oh yeah. Oh, there's a world of difference. See, this is a tiny little advanced plating. Yeah, this thing's just hardly anything to it. This has got some weight to it. Let's just see if this one fits on there. It does, like a charm. Oh, that's perfect. He's gonna like that one. Let's see what this bridge feels like. Now the bridge is solid. It's a Gibson ABR1. Yeah, ABR1 bridge. That's what I knew it was. Yeah, no, that's quality stuff. So we'll put those two together right there, and man, we'll be in high cotton. We'll be doing good things. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take these. Well, I'm not even in the picture. That might be nice, huh? We'll get it. You know, I'm gonna put all this stuff back in the box here for now. We're not really quite ready to use it yet, and I know it doesn't have it out yet. All right, we'll set it right over here, back behind us. Okay, let's get over here a little bit. Ciao. There we go. Whoa. It's like a cattywampus now. Alright. We're going to go ahead and take these studs out. Because I like to get in there and wipe things down. And, you know, I don't want to have stuff sticking up. I'm probably going to take the pick guard off it too. You know. But yeah, this thing's beautiful. I think those pickups are really going to sound good in here. And, you know, with the combination of having a good setup and everything, man, it should be, you know, humming. Okay, hold on. Is this something new I don't know about? I did something to guitars before I could figure it out. Okay, they were just down in there. Woo! I thought they looked funny. Like they weren't a stud. Get these out of here. Because I noticed that neck angle, I mean the string angle coming off the back of the bridge was a little tight on the first string. So we might have to raise this up just a little bit. You know. Alright. We got all that stuff off and we're just going to sort of shove that junk over to the side there. I'm debating whether or not. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will take this pick guard off here. Where's my screwdriver? I'll take this right here. This one's pretty good one. Take these all off. You know, it's getting close to Christmas. I'm hoping somebody will buy me a new electric screwdriver. Because the one I had took a dump. You know, it wasn't very quality to begin with. You know. But we'll be careful not to get this out here. I don't know, man. I better leave that plastic on there. Oh, I get nobody upset. Anyway, just peeling the plastic off my stuff. You know, it's your guitar. I don't know. It's your plastic. I'll peel it off and doing something wrong. It sure was tight fit there, though. Maybe I can just push that down so you can't see it. So it doesn't look, yeah, that looks better. Get the little, yeah. Stick that stuff right back down there. Okay, let's flip it over here. And let's be real careful now. And we'll take the back plate off. See what kind of goodies we got going on in here. It's going to be one of those circuit boards, probably. Or is it going to be traditionally wired? I thought it was supposed to be like a reissue or something like that, so let's see if it's got some regular old wiring or not. Alright, let's take a look. It's regular old wiring, what do you know? Ha 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 ha. Yeah, baby. That's the good stuff. Oh yeah, see? Man, it's pots and wires and stuff. That's how it gets real. Okay, so we're going to put some new pickups in this thing, right? So, I'll tell you what. Let's... I'm going to go get a stand for this, because I want to put this on the stand, because I got to get a soldering iron out. And we're going to, oh, I just leave it right here. Screw it, I'm not going to set it on the stand. Let's leave it right here. And we are going to get the soldering iron out. There it is right there. We get her plugged in. And my little thing to put it on. And you got to have a little stand to put it on. Alright, let's get that over there. We'll have it here where we can work with it, but not around the guitar where we can burn stuff up. Okay. What was I doing now? I was going to do something, wasn't I? I can't remember. I was going to have a drink of my pop, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll put some pickups in. We got to get one of them out. Let's investigate these. Well, looks like we got some nice stuff here. Let's take it off. We got a little box inside there. We'll open it up. There's our sheet with all the warranty and stuff like that. And all the how-tos and why-nots and therefores. And there we go right there. Looks like it's just a, looks like a Zippo. But yeah, it's just a regular old plain top pickup, nothing special. Let's, you know, this is the thing. Let's take it out of the foam there. Get a closer look at it. So now we're going to be putting it in this guitar here in the next few minutes. A little pack of screws and junk. Let's see. Pull that wire out of there like that. That comes out of there. Oh, look at that. It's got plenty of wire on it, that's for sure. Looks like 4 wires. And says right there on the back. If we can read that. There we go. It says Tony Iommi. 4/15/25. Yep, that's what it says. It's got some plastic over the top, and we're going to leave that on there until we get in there. I have no idea how hot these are, you know, but they are. It's a good heavy pickup. I'll tell you one thing. So it's got 4 conductors. So tell you what, we're going to break out the other one. I'm going to break out the other one, and I'm going to get these. You get to let the soldering iron warm up real nice, okay? And we'll get these out of here in just a few minutes. All right, I got the soldering iron all warmed up. We know what we're looking at and everything. We're taking a good look at it, and we're going to zoom in a little bit. We're ready to take these pickups out of here. And basically, this is your wire right here, because it's coming out of the body. It's hooked to the pickup. And seeing that it goes to this top one here, this is the bridge one, I mean the neck one, and this is going to be the bridge down here. So basically all we got to do is just heat up this solder that's on the top here, and we'll loosen up that top wire. And yeah, this could take a second. Sometimes it takes a minute for that to get hot. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, though. I am going to get something to grab it with. And I'm going to get a little flux on it, because the flux seems to make it just melt a little quicker. You know, speeds things up for us just a little tad. And I got a little paintbrush here. Let's do a little bit of that flux right on there. Stick it right on there like that. Grab this with the wire with this pair of pliers. And sometimes it takes a minute for that to get hot, enough to come on off there. That's a big old hunk of solder. Well, basically, anyways, you go in here and you get these both unsoldered here, and then we can pull the pickup out from the front. So that's what we're going to do. Well, when we come out back, my iron needs to warm up just a wee bit more. Well, alright, took about 10 seconds for that to get hot again, so we're going to go in here and we're going to get this wire off here. This other pickup. I already got the first one off. I'm just going to do the second one. And it didn't take very long for my iron to get hot enough. You just got to sort of lay it on there until it starts getting hot. You know. There we go. There we go. See, it takes a second, then it breaks right loose. And then we're going to come around here like this on this one. And that shouldn't take much to get this off here. Just get the wire off the post. Oop, just about. There we go. Alright. Now we got both those off there. And we can widen back out. Whoa. It's like 3D, huh? Okay. Got that off there. And seeing that we're not going to need this iron for, well, we might need it for a second. I'll leave it plugged in. Just going to move it out of the way here, good and out of the way, so we don't have any problems. Alright, okay, alright, flip around over, and now I need the screwdriver. And I think I'm going to take this little piece off right here too. This little piece here is sort of unique to SGs. You know, just a little transitional piece, I guess you could say it. You know. Hides the little neck joint there. All right, we're gonna take all these little screws out here, and these we have to keep these straight. Okay. See that we're putting these pickups right back in here. I don't need to go very far with these, but I am going to keep them so they are together. Because the front screws are different than the ones for the back screws. They're way shorter. So, get that in there. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, well, this one here should be ready to come out. There we go. Just came right out. No problem. Kind of... That says RHY 61, so it's like a rhythm. These are the rhythm positions. Rhythm 61. We'll see what the other one says. It says something different. Okay. Beautiful red color. I always have loved this red color. Put that over there. Yeah, the ones for the back are way longer. Yeah, way longer. They seem to be all the same size, even though the back is a little bit longer than the front, or a little bit taller than the front is, you know. So it'll be hard to put the back screws in the front ones. You know, you'd be there all day. Bada boom, bada bang, ready to come up. There we go. This says lead 61. So rhythm and lead 61. Some nice little speakers, man. I mean, nice little pickups. We'll put those right back over there. Oh, we got, oops, doops. Okay. Now here comes the one part. I gotta take the, let me give myself a little room. And the flathead screwdriver for that. So we'll get the little tiny flathead here. We gotta take these rings off of here. So we're gonna go ahead and take the rings off. And I don't know if you can see that, but I'm working back here over the side. Oh. Stupid flathead screws. Oh, because they used flatheads in 61. They're using them now. The hardest damn things keep the screwdriver in. That's the reason we went over to Phillips heads, because these are a pain. Oh, it's not a 61 replica if it doesn't have flathead screws. That's alright. I'll manage. I'll be alright. I'll sleep alright tonight. Tossing and turning. Flathead screws. What's going on? I got attacked by him. Yeah, see, I can barely keep this stupid screwdriver in there. It's taking my screwdriver skills to a whole new level. And see, I don't like it because now I'm scratching up the, you know, I'm hitting the pickup with my, I'm just going to smush it down in it. Can't take it out by hand. There we go, hash compartment. Alright, now I can take these and put them over here. And we'll take these here, springs and screws, and we'll put them on a new one. Like I said, these are both exactly the same, so let's make sure. Oh, they're not exactly the same. One's made 2 days after the other one. Alright, so let's see what we got going on here. The bevel going that way there. So that has to go in like that there. So the wire's going towards the thing. Yep, that's right. And I think we're just going to try to use these same old springs. Shouldn't make any difference whatsoever. But you know what? I think I like the new springs because, yeah, we're going to go with the new springs. Because the new springs are way shorter and probably easier to work with. So we're going to use the new springs. So I like to work. And I want to use the stuff that the thing comes with. You know, it just sometimes it makes better sense. Yeah. And they gave me a Phillip head screw. Oh, God bless them. Tony Iommi don't like no. You don't like no straight screws, man. Well, you know what I mean. I'm not sure what Tony likes. Now, if I can just get this in there, right? Without catawampus in it. Oh, there we go. Alright. Alright. Okay. Alright. Now we'll just sit here and screw this for the next 5 minutes to get it all the way down in there. Please, somebody get me a power screwdriver. Oh, man. You know, you can go out and buy an expensive guitar like this, and this is a perfect example. You know, you can go out and you spend a lot of money on a guitar like this, and then, you know, it still needs, you're still not real happy with it. You know, I mean, this is a $2,000 guitar. Okay, and then you come and bring home, and you know, you're just sort of, well, I like it, it's nice and everything. It's nice to have one, but it's, you know, I'm not really haven't fallen in love with it yet. So you go, well, maybe if I get me some of these Tony Iommi pickups in it, man, it'll, you know, it'll rock. And maybe I get rid of this little soft aluminum tailpiece and stuff, you know, it'll rock. Well, these things are going to help, okay? But what's going to really make this your best friend, make this guitar and any guitar your best friend? I don't care if you paid $10 for it or you paid $10,000 for it. You bring it to a guy like me, he goes through it, he makes everything, he gets everything the way it's supposed to be. He gets every last one of these notes that's on this fretboard playing perfectly in tune. And when the notes on the fretboard play perfectly in tune, well, the whole guitar sounds better, it sounds fuller, it sounds more beautiful. And when you're playing it, you don't feel like there's something missing, like there's something wrong. See, that's what happens. Your ear is a real good thing, and it will tell you if it doesn't like something. And you won't be able to put your finger on what it is, but you just know it ain't right. It's kind of like a gut feeling with your ears, you know. And the thing about it is when your guitar's all tuned up and it's doing everything right, you know, when you play a chord, you play a note, it rings out better. You know, you play a chord, it sounds more harmonious and it rings out better. And this guitar is basically, first of all, it's going to be acoustically by itself without pulling it in. It's going to be louder. It's going to have more oomph, you know. It's going to be a little bit louder. And then when you plug it in, it's going to have some real power. And that's what you're trying to do. That way, you're getting your money's worth out of this guitar. Out of this $2,000 guitar, you're getting your money's worth out of it. Because you spent $2,000 on it, you don't like it. You ain't getting your money's worth out of it. You're like, I want to try to get rid of it. I don't know, you know, blah, blah, blah. Well, we're going to make it so you want to keep it. So anyways, you know, you can take any guitar. If it's, you know, if it's in any kind of shape where it's, you know, it's not a pile of toothpicks, we can usually do something with it. Alright, I'm going to stick this right through here. Just bada boom, bada bing, right down on through there. Okay. I'm going to flip it over, see if it's coming off the other side anywhere yet. Should be pretty soon. You know? Let's look. It's coming through. It is right there. It's running into that wire. Yeah, we'll get it through there. Yep. That just takes a little patience. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and string this through there because sometimes it can take a minute. And I'm going to screw this. When I get ready to screw this pickup back in, I'll be right back. Alright. There you have it. I got it in there. Just had to fish the wire through. That's all. No big deal. Okay. Now we're going to put this stuff back in there. Put the screws back in it. Just like we did before. Put our little plate back on there. Bada boom, bada bing. Alright. Man, I've been having some flies and bees and stuff around the house lately. Quite a few. And man, I'm sure kind of glad it's getting towards fall so that they can all go die someplace. Man, they've been driving me crazy all day long, or all summer long. Right outside the door to the shop, I get this little colony of bees. And anytime, I got stung a couple times out there this year. But it's it's beautiful here in Michigan. Good old Burton, Michigan. Alright, now we know when to put these screws in. We want them to be down there. We sure don't want them to be loose or try to tighten them. So we're just snugking them. Alright. And now we'll put our little doohickey thingy back on there. A little plastic piece. Is that the right way? I don't think it matters. Is that that? It does. It's got plastic on it too. Well, let's peel that off. So it looks nice. That does look nicer. There we go. Perfect. Take our little screws here. Back in there. Our little transitional piece covers up the neck joint. It's gonna be alright. I got a feeling it's gonna be alright. Alright. Alright, now let's go. Oh, here we go. You guys ready to peel off the stuff? Oh, looky there. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's some shiny stuff too, man. Look at that. That's like some mirror action. Yikes. Oh, I ruined that pickup by looking at it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over. We're going to pull this wire a little tauter because it needs to go down in there a little bit more. Okay, alright. And now I am going to take my marker, okay, and I'm going to put a mark on this one just so that I know that it is the neck pickup, okay. So when I get two wires sticking out through here, I'm not going, duh, which one's which? No, I can't remember, there. And so, that's what I want to do. Make sure that's right. And I did have a little bit of humming when I tried this guitar out. I did hum a little bit more than what I liked it. So I want to make sure that everything is straight in here. We don't have anything sus. Packers use a pretty good bunch up like that, though. So I put an eyeball on everything. Okay. Now one of the things I want to do while I'm in here too is, well, we'll do that. I'll do that after I get done wiring these all in. Okay, I got this one in. Now let's go put the other one in. Let's get that one in there. The wire. Alright, I've got that there. I'll take the ring off of this one over here. Tell you what, you've seen this. When I get ready to solder these in there, I'll be back. Okay, look at it. What kind of a shot is that? Alright, well, we got both these put in there. I still got to put the wires on. Put the wires on. We're going to take the cover off it again. Take the cover off that one. Ah, yeah. Beautiful. And you know, I already got a smudge on the one, but they sure are shiny. And I think they're going to be nice and strong. And we got them sticking out the back there, so all we got to do is, I think we're going to shorten up those wires a little bit, make them nice and neat and tight, and get them in there just right. Wipe off that schmutz that's bothering me. See if we can get put a little spit on it, right? That always helps. Woo! Back to shiny. Alright. Now I'm going to leave this stuff off here because I still want to go over this body a little bit, polish it up a little bit. And then we're going to go back to our regular setup and stuff like that. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and I got to go get my wife from work. So we're going to have to I have to come back and continue on this later. So I'll be back. Alrighty. Well, we're back, and it's the next day, and well, we got the pickups all wired in there. Now that's just kind of a boring thing, but we got them all wired in there. And you know, we shortened up they had a lot of cord on there. We took a little bit of length off the end of the pickup wire because, you know, you don't want to try to have to tuck that up in there, and then you got to try to tuck it up underneath here, and you got wires going all over the place. We're trying to keep it nice and neat and clean looking. So we got those all in there. Got the pickup all installed. So the pickups are installed. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to go ahead and put the backing plate back on this because the back of this thing is pretty shiny, and I don't think we're going to have to worry about any kind of you know, I don't got to really work it a lot. I'm going to polish it a lot. It's already nice and shiny. So we're just going to put the screws back in here, and the back of this will just, you know, put a little polish on it. Make sure it's looking nice and spanky clean and all that good stuff. But I don't think we're going to like rub it with rubbing compound or nothing like that because it's right on the money. It's already nice. So we're going to get the covers back in this, and then we're going to start on our regular old setup, and I'm going to try to figure out which one of these tuning pegs I'm supposed to change. So I'm not really seeing one that needs changing yet, but maybe I'll just call the customer and see what's going on with it. But we're going to get this covered up. And what I'm going to do now, I should have done it before I put the cover on it, but I'm pretty sure these are going to work just fine. We should give them a try. We're going to go plug these in. So in fact, let me get my cord all hooked up over here. If I can. What do I got going on here? I think I got kind of a small cluster going. That's what I got. Alright, it's off camera. That's good because nobody needs to see that. Alright. See, I don't have a regular size cord. I got all massively long ones. Alright, so put that in there. Put this one in the little practice amp we got going on here. Turn these up. Turn that up. Here we go. Yep, got some action. That's the rhythm one. Nothing. Yep, we got action on all of them. Alright, we should be good to go. Alright, so I gotta make sure that everything is copacetic over there. Everything seems to be working. Okay. Alright. Now, I'm gonna try to figure out which one of these is not working. Alright, we get my cord put back up so I don't run over it. The chair. And we get it back up there. The chair. Alright. Pickups are working. We've confirmed that. Now I'm going to unplug my soldering irons. We don't have any soldering iron accidents. And what I always do is I take this sucker, throw it down on the floor. That way it's out of the way. It's not going to burn nothing. Ooh, the plate's a little hot. Should remember that. Okay, we got that all taken care of. We went from a 2-wire to a 4-wire. We went from a 2-wire pickup, which was this one right here. So it's only got 2 wires right there. It's got, well, it's got the shield, which is the ground, and then 1 wire coming out the middle. So it's 2-wire, you know. This one is 4, so we had to splice a couple of the wires together, you know, to make the right configuration and everything like that. And we made it so that it's not, it's in phase and everything's, you know, regular, normal hookup. So we got that stuff right there. All right. And let's see, we'll move some of this stuff down. Tell you what, I'm going to get this area cleaned up a little bit and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. And yeah, I'm a little confused, I guess. He told me, he says he wants, what I do with it? He said there's a bent tuner up here, okay? And I looked over these every which way but 3 ways to Sunday, and I cannot figure which one he's talking about. They all feel like they turn the same. They all feel like none of them feels out of round or like it's turning funky or something like that. They all feel like they're turning the same. The posts, none of them feel, you know, particularly sloppy or anything like that. They all feel real good. They all look real good. They don't look like they're bent. Nothing looks out of shape. But he gives me this other tuner to put in there. So I start to play around with this. I'm going, well, see, I don't see anything. Maybe somebody already replaced it. Maybe this is the one the bad one. So I start trying to turn this one here, and you know, it's not doing too bad, but it's not turning all that great. You know, and I don't know what's going on with it. You know, if it's, you know, there's something wrong. Maybe this is the bent one for all I know. I don't know. But in my professional opinion, these tuners that are on there are doing just fine. And this one here is a little bit hard to turn and stuff like that, and I really don't like it that much. So guess what? I'm not going to put this on there. In my professional opinion, these are just fine. But what we are going to do with those is we are going to go over them and make sure that they are all good and tight. That way we know that right there. That is 11 and 10. See if I can find the right thingy. There we go. And get the right tools. Okay, what we are going to do is we're going to go over these tuners here. I just got a little 10mm socket. And we're just going to go hit the nuts, make sure the nuts are good and tight. And I got to loosen that up just a little bit. Just got to make sure it's on that good. See, the nuts that are on these things, they're real low profile, which they should be. But they're also hard to get a bite on with a socket because they're so thin. Okay, now those are nice and tight. Okay. And I can get my little screwdriver out here. I finally got this little one right here. We're going to flip this over real carefully, and we're going to go ahead and try to get my phone off the cord. Try to get we're going to make sure that these are all in there good and tight. That's important. I'm not trying to over tighten them, just shake them down. And they're all getting a little, about a half a turn, which ain't bad. You know, it's the little things like this that make the big difference. And what we're also going to do is we're going to go through here and we're going to put a little tiny drop of oil right here in each one of these little tiny holes. Just a little tiny drop. That's just a little bit of insurance. So we'll lay this down flat right here. And I'll get my little oily bottle. I'm just going to sort of stick my finger right there and just sort of wipe that in there. There we go. Just need a little, sort of wiping it till it gets in there. Right there. Hey, there we go. Just a little bit, tiny bit of oil. And I'll take a little bit of tissue. We'll go in here and we'll just sort of sop things up so they're not oil running all over the place. That's how we do that. Okay? And I'm going to take them and just sort of give them all a turn. In fact, I'm going to get my little turner thingy. Pad underneath there. We're just going to go ahead and go like this with them. Sure that oil gets distributed. Now see, that feels just nice and smooth. There's not a thing wrong with that. That tuna there, oh, A-okay. You can sort of feel that the oil getting in there a little bit. You know? There we go, that's good enough. Alright. That's what we call good service. Okay. Now we're going to take this truss rod cover off. Because we are going to more than likely have to adjust the truss rod. Okay? It's a normal thing. And I want to inspect this nut. I'm saying it is a bone nut. In fact, I know I would bet my existence on the face of this earth that this is a bone nut. So once again, I don't think we're going to be replacing it unless it needs to be replaced. And that is already a bone nut. It would not make any sense to go ahead and take this nut out of here and replace it with exactly the same thing that's in there now and get it cut to the exact same spaces. And no, I'm not going to do it. You know, there's no sense in it. So I'm making another executive decision, I guess. But anyways, we're looking good up here. Everything is looking copacetic. It's looking brand new, okay? We are good to go, okay? The nut's bone, and we're going to move back over here like this because I'll get situated right about here. Move the guitar back down a little bit. Well, in fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up just a little bit of stuff here. I'll get some of this junk out of the way. Okay. Okay, we're going to get the parts a little bit farther back up here. You know. Alright? Okay. That way I can move down here a little bit. Okay. So, let's see if we can get it even Steven. There we go. Hey, what are we talking about now? Alright. First thing we're going to do is lay this down a little bit more. And we're going to find our leveling beam here. Okay. I want to stick this on here. First thing I'm going to do is see if it rocks. Which it might be rocking a little bit. But I'm going to get out my handy dandy little really super duper thin. You can see it's, you know, boing. It's thin. It's the thinnest feeler gauge in the pack. We're going to set this right across there. We're going to see where we are with the clearances. See how close we are to being flat. And it's sneaking through on the first fret. Okay? But then after that, I'm flat, flat all the way down. But I'm barely hitting down there. Okay, so in this case, I think I'm going to stick with what I got. Because this is the thinnest gauge there is, and it is not going underneath there easy. It's barely going underneath there. So if I was to attempt an adjustment to try to get this fret a little bit higher, I kind of seriously doubt if I'd ever do it. I'd have to make it would lower this down, or, you know, I don't think I'm prepared to do that. So, next step is you drink a coffee. Because, you know, the motor shop don't run on, it runs on coffee, believe me. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to level this fretboard. Nice and level schmevel. Let's not do that. I just rolled the chair over the soldering iron cord. No good, no good. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to take this marker here, and we're going to make a black mark on top of every last one of these frets. Now, don't freak out that this guy doesn't have tape on my board, you know. I don't do the tape bit. If you look at my videos, you'll never, ever see me ever use tape. And if I get some marker on this board, I got stuff that'll take it off. It's not permanent. It's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna ruin your guitar. Anyway, get some marks on here. And the reason we do this is because I want to. No. Because I feel like, oh, look how pretty it is. Aw. Now what we're going to do is I put this on here. Excuse me. And then I got this little leveling beam here. It's got some sandpaper on it. And you know what it is? It's a level that I cut off to the proper length. And it's flat. I just need something that was perfectly flat. Okay? So I put some sandpaper on there. And I got some 600 grit on there that is really, it's, you know, it's been used a few times. So it's probably more like about 800 or 1,000. And I'm really not trying to take the top of these frets off. What I'm doing is I'm just going to take this, you know, work this down until the marker is off of all the frets. That way I know I got it perfectly flat, and then we'll go from there. So basically I'm just going to stick this on here, and we're going to go back and forth a few times. We'll go down here a little bit. I'm not going over the edge or anything like that. We're just going across here a little bit, putting a little bit of tiny little bit of pressure on there. Okay, now I'm going to take a peek at it. And nothing works better for getting a peek at it than my little magnifying glassy thingy. So, ooh, that's pretty dirty. Alright, so look over here. I got a little bit of extra on the first fret, a little on the second. Looks like I'm a little bit low right here in the middle. A little bit low right here in the middle. Low. Now see, I'm getting a look at this. Now I'm going to take now see, I can see that I'm just a hair low in the middle. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to get out our tool, and we're going to tighten up the truss rod just a hair. So like that, just a hair, okay? Alright, and now I'm going to take the sand beam and I'm going to go over it a couple times, and I should be cutting on where these ones are not. And I'm not going to go off the first fret. I'm going to keep the beam so that it's still sitting on the first fret. So I'm really just worried about up here, okay? Okay, now let's take a look at this again. Cut on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. We get down here, and it's not cutting very much. It's starting to cut there, starting to cut. It's cutting there. I think I need just a little bit more. Right about like that. See, I'm going to give it a little help in that direction. See, I'm pushing down and lifting up, see. So I'm trying to get it to come up. Okay? So then we'll just give that a little... And it is starting to cut just a little bit. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that just a hair more, okay? Hair more. Boom, bring it over the edge. And we're going to really give it a little bit of a lift there. And we're just helping it and go in the direction we want it to go. That's all we're doing. Just giving it a little help, okay? All right, now we're back. And let's see what it's doing now. And this time we're just going to kind of go across here like this. Go back and forth a little bit. Much better. Now I'm starting to get even wear all the way across. So I think that that's going to do me good. And I think that maybe, just maybe, I'm going to give it just another little bumpski, just to sort of get it where it needs to be for good. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go over this a little bit. We'll try to see if we can't get all the frets all nice. Now, there is one thing about fretboards. You know, they'll stay level, and then they get down to about here, and they have what's called fall off. It's because you need these frets to fall off just a little bit in order to play them up here. Otherwise, they're going to start buzzing up here. So we try to have a little fall off. So sometimes that might, if these aren't sanding out the same way these do, sometimes it's not too much to worry about. But this is your, this is your diagnostics right here. You know, you're getting to the bottom of it. You're getting this guitar where it needs to be, and it looks to me like I need this to edge just a little bit more, and you can feel this if it's smooth or not. And now I'm going to go back and forth this way. Because I put scratches in it this way. Now I want to put some scratches in it this way. So that, it evens it out. That's how you get. That's how you're supposed to sand. Let me put it that way. That's sanding 101. Do it in one direction, do it in the other. Alright. Let's take a look at it with the magnifying glass one time. Yep. Looking good all the way down. Hey. We got it. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do, now that I got it all flat, put that away, and I'm going to feel this edge right here. That edge right there. It could use a little work right down in here. It's a little bit rough right down in here. Not too bad. In some cases I wouldn't even mess with it. But we're going to give it just a little bit of fret end work down here. See, they get those little, and we're going to be careful down here too. See, I'm going to feel it with my finger. See, they get these little, right there, it's like the corner of the fret. Yeah. And there's not really a whole lot to do up here. Just a kind of a little bit of a making sure that it's, it's smooth. Really don't take much. And Gibsons, they come out of the factory pretty smooth. I'm just trying to get those little nubby little corners. And you can kind of hear it. See that one? Oh, that one, the nubby's on this side. But I'm only going to work these down here. Because the up top felt pretty good. But to get down here a little bit, it was a little bit shaky Jake. So we're just going to work this down here a little bit. Yeah, I am completely happy with what's going on up here. But it gets down here a little bit. And it's, so we'll just... It doesn't really matter what angle you're going at it from. There's no hard set rules. I mean, sometimes people try to say that hey, this is the way you got to do it. This is the way it should be done. You know, hey, I'm a big time expert, you know. I mean, I watched Stu Mac a few times, you know, and I watched a guy named Meeks, and he does a pretty good job. I've learned a lot of things, but I've also, you know, got into this and sort of figured it out for myself, too. You know, it's not rocket science. And basically what I do is I make sure every last note on this fretboard plays perfectly in tune. That's the whole gist of the thing. All right. We got these so they're feeling pretty good here. And we're going to go hit these a little bit more to run some sandpaper over them so that they're extra smooth. And this has got the binding down the side, so we're not going to mess with no roll of the edges or nothing. But what we did is when we leveled this, we flattened out the top of the frets a little bit. Just a little bit. But now what we're going to do, we're going to round them back off again. And that's what this tool right here is for. This is the fret file. And we're going to find the size fret this is. And I think this is a medium. We're going to go with a medium. And I'm going to take this fret file and we're just going to sort of go over the fret like this. And I'm just sort of feeling how smoothly, if the fret file is you know, biting, if it's getting a grip, or it's going smooth. Because when it gets all smooth across here, I know I'm done. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do all these frets all the way across there. We're going to crown these off. And when I get done, I'll be back. Alrighty, folks. I'm back. You knew I would be. I'm like, you know, like a rash you can't get rid of. Okay. I went over here and I crowned all these off and got them all nice and rounded over. But you know, the file leaves marks and we're trying to get smooth frets. Smooth, shiny, you know, glossy, shiny frets. So, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this piece of 600 newspaper, no, 600 sandpaper, and this is something I've been using for a while, and I use this piece a lot. And so it's a little bit, and it's not quite 600, it's more like 800. But we're just going to kind of go over these frets a little bit. And I got it rounded. So we're just sort of starting the polishing process. Going over these real lightly. And I'm kind of getting the edge too, because I want to kind of smooth out that edge. And that makes a big difference. Especially when we did some sanding down here. So I'm going to work this area a little bit, you know. It's sanded smooth. I'm going to move over to a piece of sandpaper that's got a little more life in it. And see where we'll give it a feel with the fingers. Yeah, oh yeah. Nice. Gotta work that edge so it's nice and smooth. So little things, a little attention to detail. Okay, we'll work this side a little bit too. Now this side will be nice and easy. You know, this side should be smooth, but it's not as important as getting this side smooth. Because that's the side your hand rubs against more. You know, your thumb rubs against this side. But you want that to be smooth. You don't want to come up and your thumb's all bloody. Because the guitar's rough. But yeah, we'll make sure this stuff is nice and smooth. Okay, we're going to go over this one more time. And after we get done going over it with this, 600, and I'm going to go over it with a piece of 1000. And then we'll go over it with a piece of 1500. And then we'll do some other things. Alright, got that right there. That's looking good. Alright, and here's my piece of 1200, and we're just sort of moving this on down. Polishing it on up. We're getting this all rounded over so it's going to work nice for me. Right there, bada boom, bada bing. I'm not going to really worry about the sides too much now. We're just trying to polish up the surface of these frets nice. Okay, and once I get it like that, I'm going to kind of go this way too, because we're sanding in opposite directions, right? So this is going to help to cut. So I'm trying to make this smooth as I can. Alright. Alright. Now comes another important step in the process. It's where we clean the fretboard. Now, with a Gibson, I'm going to use some of this rubbing alcohol to go over the fretboard because, you know, let me repeat this for the 99th million time. This cleans very well. It doesn't soak in like water does, and it evaporates very fast. And it evaporates nice and fast and clean, and what that does is it leaves a nice, clean, dried out surface, basically dried out surface for the oil and the coconut oil, or the, you know, or whatever where you're going to rehydrate your board with. It's good and clean and ready to accept the you know, the fretboard dressing. This is good at Thanksgiving. See, we're getting a, now this stuff here is just from the marker, okay? But I can get an idea. You see, I'm going to get a clean piece of toilet paper here. And the reason I use some toilet paper is because, well, it's disposable. I'm putting the alcohol on it. But it shows me how much dirt I'm getting, if I'm getting any dirt or not. See, I'm going to clean that knot off too. We're going to give that a little scrubbing. Some lubbing. And see, we are getting a little bit of dirt off there. Not much, but a little bit. Usually not too dirty up there. Okay, alright. I'm happy with that right there. Now, what I'm going to do, get out my secret weapon. See, I got this steel wool, see? And it's got a magnet on the back, show that when I use it, because, you know, usually steel wool will, you know, a lot of stuff sheds off when you use it, see? So, alright, I'll stop. Anyway, so the magnet holds all the little particles and stuff like that, so they don't end up on your pickup, they don't end up on your board, you know, or on it keeps them all in one place, so it's kind of nice. And, see, now we've went over them, we've cleaned this, and this board is nice and, you know, it's getting smooth, but this here, this steel wool is going to sand the board, sand the wood down a little bit, as it's doing the fret. So it's doing two jobs. It's sanding down this wood part, making it smooth, and shining the fret at the same time. So we're just going to kind of go all back and forth. And right now I'm just trying to, you know, almost trying to dig into the wood. I'm trying to concentrate on getting the wood a little bit more than I am the fret. So I got to kind of pressure on the front of this so it'll get down there. And you can hear the sound of the wood getting sanded in. It really, yeah, you rub here and rub here. Way smoother, way smoother. And that's what we want. We want a fretboard that's so smooth and easy and it glides and it just feels like it feels effortless. That's what we're looking for. Effortless fretboard. And that's what you pick up that fretboard, when you pick up this guitar and start playing, you go, dang, that's so smooth and easy. And it just, you know, it feels good, it feels right, and it's playing in tune all the way up, and it sounds good, and it plays easy and sounds good, and isn't that what we're all looking for? Plays easy, sounds good. You know. Doesn't weigh a ton. We're just kind of going over this some more. No. And we're going to give this one the extra special polish job. Alright. Alright, see now I'm going to go this way. Yeah, this is getting real nice and shiny. But you can see how much more shiny they are already. You know? That's all we're trying to do, is get some nice shiny frets. Okay, I think that does it with that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ah, yeah. Okay. Now it's time for the... Time for some oil on that sucker. Now, normally I use coconut oil. We all know that. But, you know, hey, this ain't my guitar. And so, we're going to put on what the customer wants. Because the customer's right, he's paying the bills, right? It's his stuff. And, you know, I mean, you know, it's going to be, everything's going to be fine. You know what I mean? And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop a little bit on there. We'll see how far this stuff goes. Put a couple drops in there. And then we'll just sort of smear it around a little bit. Like that. You know, I've used coconut oil forever. So, you know, look at that one drop. And it just does a fret area. And I'll get this down in there good. And I'll just kind of give a few drops here and there. Come on, Beto. There we go. Not trying to soak it down. I am trying to get it hydrated. There we go. All right, that'll do it. Spread that around. All right. Now, I just went this way to spread it a little bit. And that's all I'm going to do. Because I don't want to go back and forth with the oil. Because that forces the oil under the fret. Which makes that all oily and stuff like that. And pretty soon you got to lose frets. That's why I don't like to use a lot of oil on stuff. Because it loosens things up. But, we're getting this down in here. We're working it in. See how I'm working it in? You know, it needs to be down in that wood. So. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, take me some more turtle paper. We're just going to sort of wipe that off. It smells nice. It smells like there's some lemons in it or something. You know, lemon oil is one of the old. And we got a little bit of black off there. That's from the frets. You know, that's the nickel from the frets. So it's not we're getting dirt off there or anything like that. This is not cleaning. It's just getting a little bit of black off the frets. Okay. Now we got that pretty good there. And we'll wipe down the side a little bit. That looks pretty nice, eh? Let's take a closer look. Nice and shiny. Oh yeah, looking pretty good. Might have some here with the cereal oil. I don't know. But, you know, I like to do this with it. Rub it with my fingers afterwards. I don't know what it does, but it just seems to make it be a little bit smoother. You know. What it is. And after I get done with this right here, we're going to put the Dremel on it. We'll put the Dremel on it. We're going to polish up them frets. But I got to find the Dremel wheel. It's around here someplace. Over here. Tell you what, give me a half shake and I'll be right back with this all hooked up. Alright, we're back. Got the Dremel with the little buffing wheel on it. And this already has a little bit of compound in it. So, you know, it's not going to, we're just trying to polish this up nice. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to go like this. We're going to turn this on and just over the frets. It's going to turn it black for a minute, but then when we wipe them off, they should be nice and shiny. Yep. And they're turning black now. That's because of the nickel in them, in the frets. But when we run that rag back over them, man, they're going to be shining like a new penny. This is the kind of stuff we do to make sure your guitar's right. You do just about everything known to man to it. Make it just perfect. Because, you know, we want every Mojo shop guitar, we want that to be the one that's used, that sits by your chair, you know, that you play it. When you play a guitar, you want to pick up that one because it's your favorite. You know, it's your go-to guitar. That's what we're trying to do, make every guitar your go-to guitar. Alright, we gave those all good polishing. And they really don't take much. And now we are going to go over with a little more turtle paper here, I think. We'll wipe all that off. And I might even give it another dose of oil, just to kind of get things where they're there. Now, I'm going to take my oil here again one more time. Right here, okay. Oil the sucker down, wipe it, then give it one more good wipe down. There we go. Right, one more time. Yeah, there we go. All right. All right. Yeah, look at that. Nice. All right. Now, I'm going to take me a nice cloth here. Nice piece of towel. Some polish and stuff, so I'm going to get a nice piece of towel here. We're going to go over this like this. Yeah, buddy. Got some stuff. It's shining. Woo, doggy. Looky there, looky there. Oh, yeah. Give a little wipe seat on the back side, too. Yeah. All right, well, how are we looking, folks? Let's see. Oh, looky there. Yeah, it's looking nice and shiny. It's kind of hard to see how shiny those frets are. But they are shiny. Oh, there you go. Look at that. That's what it's supposed to look like, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee it's smooth. It's getting some love. And I'm going to run my fingers over it one more time. Because that's the final coup de grace for the whole thing, to tell you the truth. You know. That way it feels smooth all the way around. Here we go. One more little rub. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Yeah, it'll be alright. This fretboard's got just a little bit of something in the wood, you know. Where it kind of goes down here, it's like a little seam stuff, you know. They maybe should give this one a little bit more work, I don't know. But if it plays good, that's all that matters. And I'm sure this is going to play just fine. Yeah. Yeah, there's not a bunch of schmutz or nothing packed up in there. Okay. I think that it is time for us to take a break. And I'm going to go get some lunch, and I'll be back in a little bit. Alright folks, we got everything in, got the pickups in, we got everything that we're going to pretty much do to it. Now it's time to start putting it back together. We went in and we lubed all the pots and stuff like that so they're moving real nice and smooth and everything's kosher in there. We lubed the switch so that it's going to work properly for years and years. Got the pickups all installed properly, got the back on it, and now we're just going to kind of give it a little cleaning off, right, you know? Kind of go over it. I got a little bit of little spray wax that you get, and we just kind of shake it up a little bit. Give it a couple little squirts on there. It doesn't really hurt anything. What I like to do is just kind of take my hands and rub it around a little bit so it gets on everything, you know. And then basically all we do is just, you know, get a nice soft towel here, and we wipe it off. You know, wipe it off, make it look nice. I kind of like to do that before we go start putting it back together, so that way the parts that are going to have like the strings over them and stuff like that, I already got some of this on it. That helps keep everything nice and shiny. Oh, and you got to look good for the camera, right? And this one is definitely looking good. Okay, and I think we're going to give the back a little shot there too. Just a little shot. Rub that around a little bit. There we go. With this nice rub down too. And the nice thing about this stuff too is it smells nice. It really does. Gives your guitar a really nice, pleasant smell. Not that, you know, your guitar stinks or anything. What's going on back there? Oh, I had some stuff stuck to it. Some little thingies. Can't have that. Oh, look, she's looking fine now. Oh, yeah. Whew, look at that back. I mean, that is truly a beautiful piece of wood right there. It really is. I've always liked that cherry from the Gibson cherry. Always looks nice. Okay. Now that we got to this point, we're going to check out this bridge. We're going to check out this bridge and this bridge. Now, we had a few problems. He said he didn't like this little aluminum bridge. And this is an advanced plating bridge. It's just aluminum. I mean, it can't weigh nothing. Here, I got a real regular steel tailpiece, not bridge. And we're going to put that one on there. Much heavier. And I don't know if it's going to come in handy or not, but it's has the little screws in the end of it right there. So maybe if we need it for intonation, we might be able to use it for help out with intonation if we need it. In case we can't intonate one of the strings or something. You know, it might help if we move it back a little bit. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and put these back in here. Put all the studs and junk back in there. Oops, be careful now. Yeah, get that in there. Get both these in here. I think these pickups are going to sound real nice. You know, I think they're going to be nice and hot. Everybody likes a hot pickup. Okay, I'm going to put these out. I'm going to put these down, but I'm not going to put them all the way down. I'm just going to leave them a little bit off the base. Just a little bit off. And we get these in there too. All the way down. I'm going a little bit easier. Now if you're putting in these, now let me tell you something too. If you're putting in a screw or something like that into your, especially something that's metal to metal, okay? Like these are, all metal to metal. If it's going in and it's all slopping around and stuff, something's wrong. Shouldn't be doing that. Should be nice and smooth and have a nice tight fit, and not be, you know, feel sloppy in the, you know, and try to put it in, like, you wiggle it all over. Something's not right. So you gotta make sure things are right. And so we're looking pretty good right here now. This is a, what we call a Gibson ABR1 bridge. It's the best they get. It's all official Gibson stuff right there. We're going to set that right on there. And that sets right on there like precision too, which it should. Bam. Pow, just like that. Now we're going to take our nice heavy tailpiece. We'll put that right on there just like that. Okay? In fact, Man, I might just take my steel wool after this a little bit. Get it shined up a little bit. There we go. Alright, so we'll put that on there right there. Now, okay, we're going to leave this off. And we're going to go ahead and put our pick guard back on. But I don't know. I think we'll leave the plastic on just in case. Because, you know, I mean, if it was me, I'd peel the plastic off. But, you know, it's not my guitar, so I'm going to leave the plastic on it. You know, if he wants to peel it off, it'll peel off easy enough, you know, I guess. Alright, so we'll put some screws back in it. I sound like I'm disappointed that I can't peel it off. Oh, I'll be alright. You'd be surprised how many people don't know that there's even a layer of plastic across there. You know? So, you know. Well, I'll get an old guitar and the plastic from the back cover will still be on it, you know, or the pick guard will still have the plastic on it. That's nice because you can peel it off and it looks nice and fresh and new. Ooh, my belly caught it. There we go. Yep. Put the screw on the end of the screwdriver. And, oh, these are for the truss rod cover. Okay, I got all my screws in there. I always try to put the screw on the end of the screwdriver, then hold it with my index finger. I'll put it in there. And we're not going to tighten these down real tight. And just supposed to be in there. Okay. Alright. Oh, I forgot. I got to do the headstock. I got to wipe the headstock down. Give me just a half a second. I'll be back. We'll put some strings on this, and we'll be rocking and rolling in no time. Alright, I'm back. Now, got the headstock all cleaned up real nice and shiny. And I'm leaving the truss rod cover off because once we get the strings up to tension and tuned up and everything like that, I want to check the truss rod. I'm going to check the relief in the neck so that we have just what we need. So I'm leaving that off till that's so usually the last thing I do is put that cover on. So anyway, let's see. I think I got some strings on there someplace for this thing. Where do I have one here? Okay, well, I'm gonna go find the strings and guess what? I'll be back. Okay, found the strings, 10 through 46. Diodarios. Bright tone, perfect intonation. Well, what if your guitar's not intonated? It ain't be perfect then. Whatever. Alright. Alright. Okay, right. We need some strings on it. It's gonna come to life. Ha 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 ha. Alright. See, what do we got here? The E and the A, gold and red. Gold and red. Alright, let's get the gold one right there. Right there she is. Alright. Put our tailpiece back on. Just like that there. And when I'm doing this, I try to protect the body from scratching it all up with a string or something stupid like that. So, you know, take your time, take it easy. Let's not get freaky deaky here. Okay. Alright, and then we'll do the old measure with the finger thingy. Right there, okay. And get that one started. And I'm going to get one on each side so the tailpiece stays in there. Okay. Put that up a little bit higher. And where's my winder? The Alright. Just going to hold the thingy in there. Alright, hang my soldering iron up now. There we go. Alright. That should be out of the way. And I want to do something right quick. So I'm not ready to do this yet. I want to make sure I want to take these. Make sure these screws are backed off all the way. And that was that. So we'll get them all backed off. Back off, you screws. Okay, I'll get my stuff over here. Find this one. I think it's probably this one right here. But anyway, I'll tell you what, I will be back in just 1 minute when I'm ready to continue stringing. Okay, and we are rolling again. Action. You know, I'd say in the movies, okay? Alright, I got that straightened out. The problem was, you know, I told you this got the adjustment screws on the end of this tailpiece, okay? And it fits in there real nice. It's good and solid like you wanted. Good solid piece. But the one on this end was sitting a little bit, you know, out, sticking out a little bit. And I didn't want to mess with the intonation or anything. I wanted to leave it flat so that if I had to adjust it, I could. But if it's not playing into it, you know. So anyways, I had to heat it up a little bit and get it to come out of there. So now we can go ahead and take this one back up here. Bada boom, bada bing. Alright. And I think that'll stay in there now, pretty much. Yep. Alright, so I can go ahead and clip this string off up here. Alright. I'm going to clip it off real nice and tight. Alright. Put another string in. And we're just going to keep stringing this thing up till we get it all strung up right. There we go. Let's find the hole. There we go. Alright. Alrighty. Go around here, measure it up. Bada boom, bada bing. Alright. We'll wind this one up. And we will have 2 strings on there. Hey! Alright, it's going along real nice. Okay, we'll get that over there. Cut off the excess. I have to cut these out real nice and clean. I have to bring it around a little farther so I can get a better shot at it. There we go. Alright, we'll make sure it's all in the saddle down here and everything. And I'm going to continue to string this up. And I'll be back when I'm done stringing. Thank you very much. Alright, guess what, folks? We got strings, hey! Look at that, doesn't it sound beautiful? Oh yeah, jamming. We got some setup to do on this beautiful guitar still. So, let's see here. There's my little string gauge finder rinders. Let's see, we got a whole array of pieces of stuff. Alright, well, we're just going to have to improvise. Alright, well, we're going to raise this one up. We're going to raise it up. I got to find a, something to raise it up with. Find the right stupid. Nope. Try this one. Yep. So right there. Trying to get freaky deaky here. Just trying to get a little string height. We'll raise this side up too a little bit. That's the thing about these Gibson bridges here, is you can't raise one side up way higher than the other because it just ain't gonna do it. Alright. A little higher. Crank over there. Crank over here. I might be getting close to where it needs to be right there. Let's see here. Yeah, that's about right. Let's see right about here. A little bit higher. And see, I'm just sort of getting it. I'm ballparking it. You know, there might be some more adjustments to be done. Especially if the string is, it's in the neighborhood. I don't have the strings tight. They're not, you know. So we're just kind of getting in the neighborhood. But see, now I got this set up just a little bit. So we got sounds all the way across, okay? So what do you say we tune her up a little bit? And we're not going to get real freaky deaky with it. We're just going to stick it up here on the thing here. Take a look at it. We're just getting in the ballpark. You know what? It feels like there's something on this stupid tuner knob. I felt it a couple of minutes ago. Now I'm feeling it again. So I'm going to clean it off. Whatever the heck might be on it. It's just it's a booger or something, you know. Who knows? So you probably should sanitize stuff like this every once in a while. You're touching it all the time. Alright. I feel better, okay. E flat. If there's E, just don't worry about it. There's A. C sharp. And D, we just went past a little bit, but we'll do E, F, G, just pass right there. Okay, and B. There's B. And E. Give me some E, baby. E flat. There we got some E. Oh yeah, we're jamming. Okay, let's try it one more time across the board here. That sounded too bad right there, hey? Okay, one thing I want to do right now is I'm going to check the relief in this neck. I want to make sure that it's got enough relief and that we're in the neighborhood. And my handy dandy 9. We're going to set the straight edge right across here like this. I'm just going to measure right here in the middle of the straight edge, and I'm going to get another feeler gauge here. It's a little bit thinner. There's 6 in here, I think. 6 or 7. 7 right here. Let's see what we got. If I got 7, I'll be cool. He said he likes it nice and low. I got a relief of 7, and so I'm going to stick with that. So I'm happy with the relief. See, we get the neck flat. And when the strings get tightened up on it, it bows the neck just a little bit. And that little bit, we measure that, how much it bowed out, and that's the perfect amount. So we're good to go. And we're going to go ahead and put the truss rod cover back on it so we don't forget. We don't do too much to it, but we do give it a little, maybe I'll give it a little schmitzer wiper. You know, can't hurt, right? Everything should shine, shine, shine. Okay? Wipe it off the towel. Oh, I did the best I could. Alright. And the little screwdriver. Sometimes these can be challenging, you know what I mean? So, tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and stretch these strings. I'm going to put this cover back on, and I'll be back in a half a second, okay? This is boring. Alright, folks, I'm back. We had well, we did a little bit of work on the side here. We had a few things we had to take care of, and you know, it takes time to get these things just perfect. But we went over and we adjusted the nut slots, the slots in the nuts there. We had to, you know, cut them a little bit deeper on a couple of strings just to get it so that it was playing perfectly in tune on the first 3 frets. See, that's what you do. If your nut slots are at the right height, see, then the first 3 notes should play perfectly in tune. If they're sharp, then you have to make the slot a little bit deeper, so you don't have to push it down so far to the fret, okay? But if they're flat across there, well, then you're screwed. You got to shim the nut, or we get a new nut. But anyways, we got it so every last note on this neck plays perfectly in tune. No matter what note you play, the tuner is going to go bam right straight to the top, and that's what we've done here. See, we got the tuner out here. We got the nice Korg tuner. We plug it in. We make sure that everything's hitting just the way it's supposed to. We'll turn it off to save the battery. But anyways, we went over this guitar from head to toe. We got the intonation perfect. Now the only thing that we have left to do, and you know, I use regular old tools in things that I've made and things that I've measured, and I kind of know what, you know, but we're going to set the string height right here. And you know, if you've ever watched the video, if you've ever watched the channel, I did a thing on how to measure the magnetic field of a pickup. I mean, how high is it magnetic? And I found it at about 4 millimeters above the surface of the pickup is where your magnetic field starts. You're not getting any kind of magnetism until you get to right there. So I like to set it at about 3 millimeters, so that you know, it's right in the sweet spot of the magnetic field, because the magnetic field kind of spins around like this at the top, you know, and it spins a little looser at the bottom, and it's right there. I try to get it right there in the sweet spot of this. So what we do, and we don't press down on the string or nothing like that. We just sort of put it in there like that, and I want to be right at about 3.5, which it really kind of is right now. And we'll put it over on this side. Now this side needs to come up. Just raise it on up. And I want it to be just a little past about 3.25. You know, right in there. Okay. And I just use my little, what is this? Clothespin. Half a clothespin. That's all it is. Half a clothespin. And I measured, put a line where 3 millimeters is and where 4 millimeters is. That's all I did. That's the thickness right there. And it's something that's not magnetic. It's not going to stick. It's not, you know, and I can pull it in and out easily, and it measures just the way I want it to without being sticky or nothing like that. Right about there. And on this side's just got to come up a little tiny bit. Alright. Right there. I'm going to press that string down to see where we're looking at. Okay, we're about right. Now this one's got to come up just a ton. So we're going to bring it on up, raise it on up. And man, you know, I really think this thing's going to be, it's going to be a winner. It's going to be a contender. Let's get a nice setup on it. Getting everything barked right in there where it's supposed to be. And these pickups are exactly the same pickup. There's no difference between them. You know, I thought maybe there was going to be a bridge and a you know, and a neck, but there's not. It's just, it's what it is. Both the same. see, what do I got over here? About right there and right there, okay. And then over here I got about right there and right there. I'm going to just raise this up just a healthy little hair. Okay. I do believe we're done, to tell you the honest truth. The only thing I really want to do now is just give it another little wipe down. But let's recap. Let's recap what we did here. Let's see. Am I wiped out? Okay. First of all, we started off and we went ahead and we checked all the tuning pegs up here. Checked all the tuning pegs. Made sure that everything was right. Made sure all the screws in the back were tight. Made sure all the nuts in the front were tight. And this, I was supposed to change one of these. I couldn't figure out which one was bad. I don't think there is a bad one on it. I honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with any of these tuners on there. They all look fine. So, and I'm not going to change something. In fact, the one that he wanted me to put on there, I think was a little bit more, a little bit, stiffer and harder to use than the rest of them were. Okay. Huh. Did I do something wrong? I think I may have. Yep, that's what I did. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix something. I put the truss rod cover has a little bit smaller screw on it. I think I may have put it in the, yes I did. I put it in the pick guard when I shouldn't have. There's the other one right there. Right there, yep. Too small. And these ones down here are too big. I tried to get it to go down. It wasn't going down all the way. I go, what the heck is wrong with that? And then I'm trying to screw it in a little farther, and it's going, and well, that's not right. So something ain't kosher in Denmark over here, and I figured it out. I had two screws that were a little bit. Let's see, we'll get the right screw in there. And see, here I'm going to show you my technique too. See, I put the screw on the end of the screwdriver just like that, okay? And I take my finger and hold it on like that. See, just like that. And that way I can get right in there, put it right in the hole, and it's already in the screwdriver. And just come on up and, yeah, you couldn't see that, but there we go. This is the wrong one too. Sometimes you just assume that all the screws are the same. They're not sometimes. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can see that again. Got the end of the screwdriver in the end of the thing, okay. We're just going to stick it right down in there. Even if it's in between the strings, I can still get it in there. Bada boom, bada bing. It's your tip of the day. You can wrestle around with these screws, these little tiny screws. I don't want to play around too much. Gotta get it in there, get it in there. Alright. See, that's why we recap, because we go over and see anything that we might have messed up. Okay. The owner of this beautiful guitar also wanted a bone nut put in there. But he has a bone nut straight from the factory. So there's no sense in putting a bone nut in there, because basically what I would have done is I would have recreated this exact same nut that's in there, put it at the exact same height. I mean, it's bone already, and it's already cut to the right height. I mean, I had to adjust a couple of slots, but that's it. I would have, it would have been a whole lot of work to replace this, and it would have been for nothing, because it's already bone. You know what I mean? And it's the one that's in there. It should be, we're leaving it. And anyway, after we got done with that, we polished everything up here. We went over the fretboard, we leveled it, we crowned the frets. We did the fret ends so they're nice and smooth all the way up and down here. Okay. We put the new pickups in, and soldered those in. We gave them a new tailpiece down here. If you can see this down here, we gave them a new tailpiece that's a heavier steel, so it's going to have a little bit more, should have a little bit more oomph in here. We adjusted the pickup height so that they're right at everything is at the same height. So when you flip this up, go from pickup to pickup, it should sound, they should have exactly the same volume. It's just a different sound, not more volume or anything like that, you know what I mean? We we cleaned up, we polished the frets. That's right. We polished the frets with the steel wool, and we did the wood on the fretboard too with the steel wool, and then we polished the frets with the Dremel, and we cleaned up the body real nice. We oiled the pots and everything like that. We put some oil in the back of the pots and stuff and turned them. You know, you get them in and you turn them about 100 times till they start feeling real nice and smooth. And then you put a little oil on the thing here, on the pickup switch, you know, and go back and forth with that a little bit so everything's working real good. We went through, we tightened up all the jacks, or tightened up the jack, the output jack, and we tightened up the strap buttons. And that pretty much covers everything on this guitar, you know. I mean, it's looking beautiful. It's playing beautiful. Or is it playing beautiful? Well, we don't know yet, do we? Because we got to play it. So I'm going to turn the thing up here, and I think it's time for us to plug it in and see what's going on with it. Let's see here. We get a decent cord here. It's a little bit longer. I don't know why I keep doing that. Just grab this one here. Grab this little one here. Alright, let's get this another. There we go. Alright. Now, I have got the smallest little crappy test amp over here. I mean, this amp is as cheap as it gets. You will never ever find a cheaper amp than this, okay? And it's set on medium. It's set on, you know, it's set on the, you know, right down the middle. So, let's just play a G chord on this thing. It's tone on 10, volume on 10. And that's with both pickups here, okay? All right, let's just try the neck pickup. Sounds pretty good. Let's turn the tone down. Let's turn the tone and the volume down a little bit. Okay, well, let's turn it all the way off. No amp at all. And let's just listen to it by itself. Nice and loud, nice and loud. Okay, now let's just try that. That was the treble. Let's turn that up a little bit. We'll turn that on 10. The neck pickup. Okay, and here's both of them together. Oh, I turned the volume down one. There we go. And now just the bridge. Now that sounds halfway decent, and you know what? That is through a really, really bad speaker. Okay, so I think we're doing all right. We're doing all right. So let's unplug this from here. Yeah. I think you won't be happy with this. Got everything the way he wants it. A couple of things we didn't do, but we didn't have to do. There's no sense in doing something on a guitar if you don't need to do it. You know. I mean, you can, you know, putting pickups in is one thing. You know, changing the pickups out, that's you know, that's a preference. But if it's already got a bone nut in there, you know, there's no sense in changing it. Okay. If it's already got a tuner in there that's doing what it's supposed to do and it's doing it right and there's nothing wrong with it, there's no sense in changing that out either. Save it for when you actually really do need one. You know, and sometimes, you know, I don't know. People come in and they say, hey, I need this, I need that, and well, maybe you do, maybe you don't, I don't know. But we'll get everything nice and wiped down for you. Oh, yeah. And you know, I think I'm going to do one last little thing there. We're going to lay it down like this. And we are going to, there's my little bucket. I'll find my little bucket. And I got, sometimes it's the little things like what I'm about to do that really make a difference. See, I got a little tiny piece of old worn out Scotch-Brite pad. Okay? And all we're going to do is just going to take this and just sort of go over the back of this just a little bit with a Scotch-Brite pad. It just sort of takes some of the stickiness off of there. Okay? And you can't even tell we did anything to it. But it sure does make a difference.
Thank you for watching Mojo Shop Guitar. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.
We have to say, let's check it for being in tune and everything one more time. What do you say? Let's stick this right up here. Let's see what she's saying. Hair. I mean, yeah, and I am adjusting it a little bit, but it's like I'm breathing on that knob. Everything's right, perfect. She's staying in tune, and she's doing what she's supposed to. You know, I have to say this is another successful build. And when the customer gets here, if he wants to try it out, we're going to try it out, and we'll show him trying it out. But if not, then, you know, we're just going to have to call it a good build here. Because it's looking good. Everything's looking good. Oh, man, I got a little bit of schmutzerelli on it. You know, I might just give it another little swipe ski. Give it a little bit more stuff. Just, and well, this time I'll just spray it on the towel. So we don't get it all over the place or anything. But it doesn't hurt to, you know, healthy up the shine a little bit where I've been touching it and stuff. You know, just makes it a little bit nicer. And I still do have to go over and clean up the case a little bit. Just kind of wipe it down. Make sure that it's looking perfect and pretty. You know? Because one of the things I like to have is I like to have a little bit of wow factor. You know, when a guy opens up his case, he goes, dang, that's looking sweet. You know? You ain't fooling around. There we go. Alright, everything's looking sweet on it now. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Alright. Guess what, folks? We're done with this one. We are done. But you know what? I'm kind of anxious to see what it sounds like. So I think I'm gonna take it in and we're gonna play it. So give me a second and we're gonna go out there and hook it up. All right, well here we are, folks. Out here in the garage. Here she is. She's looking beautiful, playing nice. We got her all hooked up to the amp. We're gonna see if she's gonna rock out a little bit. You know, well, it's gonna rock as good as I can, I guess. You know, you know. Let's see here. Let's crank her all the way up. Let's put it in the neck position. Uh-oh, sounds like it's got a little something. Bridge now. Uh-oh. Yeah. That's a whole lot of noise, but it's playing real nice. And you see, it's nice and quiet when it's done. You know, it's doing the things it needs to do. It's doing pretty good. I think Rob, the owner, is going to have a whole lot of fun playing this. And, well, I'm going to call this a successful build. For Mojo Shop Guitar, we're going to say adios, baby. Ha ha.
Thank you for watching Mojo Shop Guitar.